I am very touched by the outpouring of public support I have been receiving over my fast food vending machine venture. Now ask if people now support me and stand up in my corner because everybody see what is going on. It is clear as day that some people believe this world was made for them alone and a them roll thunder. And so I'm big neck man. One big neck man from somewhere called one police. One police where must see in a pocket. And say, you see that thing there in Spanish Town? I want you to go and lock it down. You know. Go and lock down that thing. You see that thing? Lock it down. And that is how the police ended up at my place, unlawfully ordering me to lock down, illegally ordering me to lock down. But I am here to assure you all that Zoop's Food ATM will soon be back up and running in Spanish Town, in Mandeville, in Montego Bay, all over Kingston, in Port Antonio, in Old Harbor, in every crevice and corner, in Lucy, in everywhere in Jamaica. Because once we abide by the law, there is nothing that anybody can do. And in order to take this across the length and the breadth of Jamaica, Zoop's Food ATM is now offering franchising. So if you want to operate a franchise, you just link me up, man. If you want one of these machines, two of these machines, or three of these machines, we will provide you with the machines. We will maintain and service the machines, fix the machines if anything go wrong. We will provide you with the training and your staff and yourself. And you just operate your business from whichever location you are in Jamaica. You just link me up. We provide you with the machine and you run your little business and make your money. Zoop's Food ATM franchising. We are doing to take this across the length and breadth of the entire Jamaica. And all of a sudden, the fight against them. All of a sudden, the fight against them are raised this matter of food safety concerns. All of a sudden, food safety become a big concern in Jamaica. There are pan chicken men on every corner selling, cooking, preparing the food out in the open, not having bathroom facilities, not having hand washing facilities. And when them done with the pan them, and them pack up the pan them and gone, a bear, rat and roach take over the pan them. The same pan them when them a jerk out. But we not knock them thing. We have been eating it and nobody no get sick. No. The whole of we are eat from the pan chicken man. Nobody no get sick. No. The little lady who is selling her soup on the roadside, she don't have bathroom facilities. She prepare the food right there out in the open. She don't have hand washing station. Nobody no get sick. No. The little woman them were selling crab. And speaking of crab, one woman who was selling crab at Hero Circle was caught DDing. DD. Right. You know where she is selling crab. And she's back out there now selling crab. She has never been raided by the police. None of these people have been raided by the police. None of these people have ever been attacked by the police. But me, little 119 now come with something that them bad mind me over. And all of a sudden, food safety is the biggest concern of the fight against them. The support from Jamaicans at home and abroad lift my spirits, Everybody there on my side, you know. Nobody not there on the enemy side. Well, just a few Topanoris and wannabe Topanoris see something wrong, trying to poke holes, trying to find something. I must get permission. I don't need no permission. I don't need them to be my friends. I don't need to have any relationship with them. It's business I'm doing. I'm not begging anything. I'm not begging friends. I'm doing business. And if I abide by the law, that's the end of the story. But may I tell you, say, you see when TVJ go do that report, yeah? Oh, Lord, man, people are calling me from all over the world and people are on social media. Ah, boy, me heart full. Me feel for ball. Me heart fully full.
The St. Catherine Public Health Department is investigating the closure of Zoob's food vending machine in Spanish Town. TVJ News understands that the facility was forced to halt operations by the police less than a week after it began operating. The vending machine was offering fast food items from select brands, including KFC and Popeyes Jamaica.
January 9, 2026, exactly 1 week ago, the day TVJ News first visited Soup's vending machine in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Instead of pushing out snacks, this one dispenses fast food. A welcome for customers who oftentimes have to endure long lines at the restaurants.
You look interested and want to see if it real, and I purchase it. A 2-piece with drinks, cold drinks, and the meal is hot and tastes nice. No, it's a very good thing. Sometimes you go down at the place them to buy food and it's full.
But that convenience may be short-lived, as owner Milton Ray says he's now being pushed out of business.
Well, I was visited by a group of police personnel. They came from the Constant Spring operations unit, and they came here apparently on a fishing expedition. They didn't seem to know exactly what they came about. I kept asking what they're investigating.
He said the matter quickly escalated.
They told me to cease operation, tell me that they're going to seize my equipment. They had no legal grounds on which to do that. They talked about food handlers.
Under the Public Health Food Handling Regulations 26(1), and I quote, no person, including an operator, shall be employed or assist in a food handling establishment unless he is the holder of a food handler's permit, end quote. Mr. Ray insists food safety requirements were not ignored.
The person who is responsible for loading the machine was in fact in train with her food handlers. I pointed out to the policemen that the health department does in fact allow persons to work with the receipt pending the granting of the actual food handler's permit. They said, no, nothing can go so.
TVJ News was unsuccessful, but the St. Catherine Public Health Department says the matter is being investigated. In statements, both KFC and Popeyes Jamaica said they are aware of the vending machine operating in Spanish Town, but stressed they are not operated, endorsed, or affiliated with the companies. There are also concerns about the legality of purchasing prepared food and reselling it in Jamaica.
The reselling of pre-prepared food in Jamaica is not illegal. And this is something that we have been doing from time immemorial. Schools do it every day, supermarkets do it, and some establishments do it. What is the main issue is whether or not the food is safe for consumption. Because when you're talking about food, you have to bear in mind that there are public health standards that a business establishment or a supplier of food has to comply with.
However, Mr. Shaw says,
branding is very important, and so a business is going to try to protect its trademark. And I think that's what KFC is doing here. And it can take actions with respect to the Fair Competition Act.
This venture, according to Mr. Ray, was a multi-million-dollar investment, though customers only paid a $300 markup.
There's a freezer that freezes food at the required temperature, and it's a special kind of freezer. It's not the same freezer that you have at home.
And although the simple grab turned into a hard stop, he had great plans for the business.
Right now, we're looking for equity partners because we want to make this as ubiquitous as the automated teller machines.
Deirdre Thomas, TVJ News.
There is only one thing wrong with that news report. That lawyer, Mr. Alexander Shaw. Mr. Shaw, you are the lawyer. I am not the lawyer, Mr. Shaw. But I, 119, I'm going to tell you this now. That you are perfectly wrong. You are incorrect, Mr. Shaw. There is nothing in the Fair Competition Act having to do with any trademark. Nothing. The matter of trademark is governed under the Copyright Act, Mr. Shaw. And these restaurants, when you say they can't take action, me want you can tell me which action they can take. There is no action that they can take. None whatsoever. None, none, none. I dare you, Mr. Shaw, the lawyer, to come and tell the public that me, 119, the non-lawyer, is incorrect. I dare you to do that. I dare you. But, in trying to find an excuse, and can't find no excuse. Them cannot find no excuse. So all of a sudden, in Jamaica here, where we have by every little corner and little cook shop when I have no food and glass permit, that are not adhering to the standards, to the laws, to the regulation. My thing adhere to the law. I can assure you that my thing adhere to the standards and the laws. But all of a sudden, when the bad mind people them start nitpicking, you know, when they land upon food safety concerns. You know that foodborne illnesses are very uncommon in Jamaica. The incidences of foodborne outbreaks are not very common in Jamaica because Jamaican are nasty people. We have principles when it comes to angling food. We don't want anything good on in our belly. Like some other people around the world who nasty, who don't care. We don't stay so. And the very few incidents of food poisoning, foodborne illness outbreaks that have occurred in Jamaica, none of them have ever occurred from a vending machine. And they have not occurred from the little cook shop on the corner. They have not occurred from the pan chicken man when I have no wash station and no bathroom facilities. They have not even occurred from Alice at Hero Circle. They have not occurred from the little woman that said her soup on the corner. Who don't know where they have occurred? Me say if you don't know where they have occurred, they have occurred at tourist resorts, all-inclusive hotels. The very posh, formal, all-inclusive hotels that no police has ever run in pan. If you tell them, say them operate in contravention of any food safety requirements. The Grand Palladium Hotel, the luxury resort, Beaches Sandy Bay Resort, that is where the food poisoning have occurred. So this now is where we made the New York Post. It says, dozens of guests at Jamaica resort sickened by likely salmonella outbreak. That never go on from no vending machine. He never go on from no little cook shop. He never go on from the little woman and sell her soup on the road. He never go on from the pan chicken man. It happened at the very posh, the very stocious, the very luxury. It's a luxury resort, the Grand Palladium. And no police has never run in upon them, I am sure. And it says, an apparent salmonella outbreak at a resort in Jamaica has ruined vacations for potentially dozens of holiday travelers. And now some sickened guests are considering legal action, the Post has learned. Quote, it was a nightmare, Chantel Ellie of Lincoln, Nebraska, told the Post of her experience at the Grand Palladium Resort and Spa, which was echoed by other people online. I don't know how many people go on an all-inclusive vacation and lose weight. That's a quote too. Ellie and her husband Justin secured their room at the 537-room beachside resort, which boasts 11 restaurants, 17 bars, and one of the largest swimming pools in the Caribbean, in February before the pandemic hit. But the island getaway dissolved into severe stomach and body cramps and diarrhea within 2 days of their travel on December 13, tethering them to a bathroom at all times. So then this a dee non-stop. And that this a say that. And I'm sure no journalist in Jamaica has ever called the Grand Palladium to ask them about their food safety standards prior to this happening. And they would not have, because the Grand Palladium is nice and posh and stocious and operated by the big man. But them have to question every little thing with me. Them have to nitpick. Because me want little nobody. That I want to believe. In early 2005, a salmonella enteritis outbreak was linked to contaminated food at the Beaches Sandy Bay Resort in Jamaica. A joint investigation by the Jamaican Ministry of Health and the United States CDC found that at least 70 people, and CDC means Center for Disease Control in America, found that at least 70 people became ill after eating contaminated cheeseburgers and eggs, with cases reported across multiple U.S. states among travelers who had visited the resort. That means that people who come from multiple states in America and who go to beaches get sick from heat in there. So what me I got to know is to show the prevalence of foodborne illness outbreaks in Jamaica. It is not something that really happens in Jamaica. The cases are quite isolated because Jamaican people clean. We no nasty like some other people around the world. And so in handling food, Jamaicans are usually very careful, very clean. According to Jamaican Ministry of Health surveillance data, 17 foodborne outbreaks were reported through official systems in 2008. This includes various food poisoning events caused by bacteria, viruses, parasites, or chemicals. Those smaller outbreaks may go unreported due to underreporting and people self-treating mild illnesses. So this said down here, so now, research has shown that in earlier years, a significant portion of visitors to Jamaica experienced traveler's diarrhea, a common form of food or water-related illnesses, prompting food safety and sanitation improvements in the tourism sector. So what that I tell we say now is that certain other safeguards were put in place. And see what it says now? Annual health surveillance in Jamaica tracks cases of foodborne diseases as part of a larger monitoring of public health. No matter what the naysayers may be saying. Oh Lord, and the naysayers are very few, you know. Very few. It's social climbers. And yeah, some people are fooly. Go like them are expert by everything. But me, I'm telling you, I never expect this level of excitement and this level of support from Jamaicans everywhere. Jamaicans everywhere are coming to the defense of Zoop's food ATM machine because they see the need for it. They see the need for it. And no matter how much one they want to fight, Jamaicans are clamoring for convenience, but not only convenience, for good customer service that they have not been able to get from some of these restaurants who seem to don't care about the customer service that they offer to people.
Well, this is a KFC, me attack. Over this is a little hog work, right there, so. That's the KFC, we're down here on Caledona Road. And the one way here. We finished telling the story. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Guys, I made a video yesterday. I didn't post it. I was so upset, right? Mind you, tell me your take on this. I went to KFC in Mandeville. That's the one on Caledona Road right there. And me and my sister and my little nephew. Guys, same as I was about to come out of the car, an old man approached me and said, he might beg me something to eat. Hold on. Yeah, guys, so an old man approached me and said, Mommy, may I beg you something to eat? I'm hungry. If I'm man, I may not eat. I say, where you come from? He said, Christian. I say, all right, come. We're going to KFC. Guys, this was almost 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock in the early. Anyway, we're going inside. In the KFC one person was before me. Alright, when I ordered, the man come down the line with me and my sister, and he stand up behind me. And when I proceed to order, I ask him first, I said, what you want to eat? He say, you want a big deal? You can eat 3 pieces of chicken? He say, yes. I order a big deal for him. I say, how you want it? He say, original. Mind you, the person we are served, 2 girls was standing over there. And remember, one customer in front of me, him get served and gone. So she away for my order now. Guys, we order 6 meals, mounting up to almost $10,000, right? Alright, I order his meal first and then I proceed to order ours. When I ordered, same as I go up to the counter, you know the receipt I already print over there. I said to the girl, I said, the first big deal, original, please to put it separate. The girl said nothing to me. Alright, after them, line out the box, them, pack all of this stuff, them with them a packers. I order another big deal, but I order it mix. I order another one, I order spicy, then zinger box and everything. So everything is in a big box. Alright, she proceeded to pack the stuff in the bag. And I said to the girl, I said, Miss, can you please put the first big deal, the original big deal, separate for me, please? It's not mine. Miss, we don't have the time to do that. That's what she said to me. She don't have the time to do that. She don't have the time to pack one meal separately. I say, what do you mean you don't have the time to do it? I say, if you don't have the time to work, you stay home because you're working at your workplace. Miss, we have business. We don't have the time for that. When we pack it in the bag, all you do, take you out and take out where you take out. I said, Miss, all right, if you can't pack it in, if you can't put it separate, put it on the counter, I will take it up. Because it's for the man. The man say, I'm hungry, and I'm going to eat. I don't want it in the bag. We're not going the same place. The woman adamant and decide say she pack it in the bag. And she did. She pack up all, and this is the big deal, guys. She put it at the bottom of the bag. For sure, you see, some of these people who are working at KFC will have some dirty hog. Someone has some dirty pig. Yeah? She proceeded to pack the meal in the bag and pack the rest of them pan it. After me tell this damn girl, don't pack it in the bag. Me say, miss, you still pack it in the bag? Miss, take it out if you want it. And I say, he's a damn bitch. And I say, he's a pig. And she pack up the bag with the can and everything and stuck it on the counter and give it to me. And guys, I hold the bag under the bottom and tip over everything on the counter. Me dash out everything back on the counter. Damn bright. Because after me tell you over and over and over again, so now pack it in the bag, you still say I pack it in the bag because you don't have the time. Me say it take me less than a minute to spend $10,000 in a year, and you can spare a second to just pack one meal separate, and me tell you if you put it on the counter, I will take it up. You never have it packed in the bag. Me say I will take it up. For sure no. KFC down on Caledonia Road. You just need to get rid of some of the little dirty pig that we have down there. Because some of them are pig. Because every time you go down there, a pig attitude then give you. And mind you see why every time she pack the thing in the bag, I tip them out. And I start get boisterous. I say, little dirty bitch. Yeah, you. I say, me not take them up. I say, manager everybody rush come around. And I apologize. And all she do, she turn her back and she still there. I grumble. Because she go, oh, you can't turn them over, but you can't turn me over, I commend the manager and the supervisor or whoever that it was that come around and come to the front and take matters in their hand. I commend you all. You did a great job. But if you're not girl, when I come back in a KFC again, I'm going to give me argument again. Mind you, the man say hungry. I don't want any food, me blast it bag and I say, put it aside so you can't go eating food, you still put it in a damn bitch. You treat people like customer service is the worst. Some of the customer service is the worst in Jamaica.
Jamaicans are demanding better than this. They are demanding better. And Zoop's Food ATM is offering Jamaicans better. And that is the reason why there has been such an outpouring of support. People see beyond the veil. Beyond these claims about food safety concern, these little excuses, when them are come with about food safety concern all of a sudden. Look how much things are going on with food right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. And there is no concern about food safety. All of a sudden, woo! And let me tell you this, is it? As I said previously, the food at Zoop's Food ATM is safer than the food at these restaurants because they have no equipment to preserve, store, and prepare meals. I have that equipment. Then can't argue with me. Nobody can argue with me about that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Now, the owner of the controversial vending machine seen selling KFC, Popeyes, and other fast food options is seeking to clear his name. This after restaurants sought to distance themselves from his venture. Restaurant Associates Limited, operators of Popeyes and Restaurants of Jamaica, who operates KFC, posted statements to their respective Instagram accounts last week informing customers that the machine was not operated, endorsed, or affiliated with either company.
Restaurants Associates in their statement went further to say products sold through the machine are not authorized and prepared or distributed under their quality or food safety standards. Restaurants Associates also sought to encourage the public to buy products only through authorized locations. Videos of the video machine reportedly located at a shopping center in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, went viral on TikTok recently.
The machine, which carries branding Zoop's, also bears labels featuring KFC, Popeyes, Burger King, Island Grill, Pizza Hut, and Quick Chick.
Well, we have the operator of Zoop's Food ATM, Milton Ray. Good evening.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Before we even get into it, Cliff, I want to say right off the bat that I want to commend Nationwide Radio because some of these entities are major advertisers. Some of them are the biggest advertisers in Jamaica. And I know that I know that the editorial department is not always insulated from the advertising department. So congrats nationwide for even entertaining this interview this evening.
Well, we are in pursuit of the news and the issue, okay? Because a number of issues arise from your venture, yes? First of all, Zoop's Food ATM, yeah? Tell me, what's the thinking? How was it inspired? Where you intend to go with it?
All right, so Cliff, I have a young son, and he really loved fast food. And so I used to have to take him to these fast food restaurants regularly. And I must tell you, the experience was miserable. Very miserable. It was almost like torturing yourself, Cliff. And I thought about it. And I said, there must be a better way to do this in this technologically advanced age. We can't find a better way to see people access these meals easier, more hassle-free, and so on. And so I started to do research. Another son of mine had the idea to go into the vending machine business, but that was the regular vending machine business, the snacks and drinks and so on. And so both things combined in my head and clicked. And I said, that is the solution. And so I started to pursue it. In pursuing it, Cliff, one of the first things I did when I got the idea was I have a couple of lawyer friends. And I call them and run the idea by them. Because I want to know something Cliff, I want to know me do something legitimate. I want to know me not break no law. And when I ran it by them, they looked into it and them tell me, say, oh, me breaking any laws, they don't see anything wrong with it. Then one lawyer went as far as explained to me that it's the same as going to Juicy Beef or Tasty and buying patties that a lot of people do, and go back and put them in a warm and sell. And I say, well, I went and did my own research now because I love the law. I love to research law. I just love the law. I never loved the law. So I went and I did my own research and discovered that the Jamaican law actually allows for it. It is actually in the Jamaican law. And so I said, all right, I am on the right track.
Which law allows it?
It's the Food Handling Act. It is under the regulations. And it is Regulation 16. Regulation 16, 3, 4, and 5.
But I understand the police ordered you to shut down business last week. Did they tell you on what grounds?
Yes, Cliff. That is very
Ricardo. That's Ricardo.
That's Ricardo. Okay. Ricardo. Up to this point, I am completely flabbergasted because I don't know what the police was investigating. Them run in, them come first of all, them say, I'm not registered. When I show them that I was registered, they say the registration don't have on it that I am authorized to sell these brands, and that has to be on registration. Now you and I know that that could not be on a registration certificate or any registration document. Okay. I pointed that out to them and they were insisting that I'm not allowed to do what I'm doing. They say I have to get permission from these brands. Now I did my thorough research and knew that there was no such requirement that I get any permission from these brands. And then they went on to talk about food handlers permit. The young lady who was responsible for loading the machines went and applied for her food handler's permit, and the thing is in trade. And the health department allows you to work with the receipt. I pointed out this to the police, and they came all the way from Constant Spring, They came from, I'm in Spanish Town. They came from the operations unit in Constant Spring. I don't know how this became a police matter. Only God, he knows what they were investigating. I didn't steal the meal. And when they were thief from Popeyes or KFC, we went and purchased them legitimately. Right? So now they came with this food handlers thing. I said to them, listen, the health department allow you to work with the receipt until you get the actual food handlers permit. The policeman, the gentleman, Sergeant Simpson from up there said, no, nothing can go so. You can't apply for a driver's license and go drive same time. No, can't go so. And so the following morning I went to the health department myself to inquire. And lo and behold, I was told by the health department that yes, you can work with the receipt.
All right,
And they're trying to seize my equipment. They say I have to stop. No. I have to shut down because if I didn't shut down, they were going to seize my equipment.
So you're not now operating.
I'm not now operating, but it is not because of that. It's because of a few things that we have to work out. Because I'm sure that the police has no legal grounds to stop me from operating.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, quality control. So I'm assuming you go to KFC or Burger King or Popeyes in Spanish Town, you buy in bulk, and then you transport to the machine?
Yes.
And how do you assure people who are buying from your machine that the top quality that the brands try to enforce within their confined stores is maintained as you transport to your machine?
Well, I will say this to you. We operate no differently. Well, we do operate differently because we operate better than the regular delivery services that are all around. In fact, our thing is safer than the regular delivery service because when those guys go and pick up the meal sits there for a while, they pick it up, they pick up 3, 4, 5 meals and they ride around to different places. Time a go, time a pass. The bacteria build up on the food them. By the time them ride to 3, 4, 5, 6 places, the food full of bacteria.
But aren't you just reheating? Because I heard in the video the young lady said that it is essentially hot up KFC.
Well, she said a number of things that are inaccurate. For example, she said it's overnight food. We don't keep anything overnight. We restock every 2, 3, 4 hours. In terms of the quality.
Right. So hold on, Mr. Ray. Hold on. Hold on.
Speak to the quality?
Hold on before we get there. So if you're restocking every 3, 4 hours, I mean, conceivably just like the delivery man who we have to wait 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. You know the same thing?
No, sir. You're very incorrect.
Tell me why.
Our equipment is built to preserve the meals at the required ambient temperatures. And if you look at the law...
This is the Zoop ATM.
Yes. If you look at the law itself tells you at what temperature cooked meals should be maintained at. And our equipment surpasses the requirement. And so when we take the meal to our equipment, the equipment begins to preserve the meal immediately and can keep it for up to 6 months fresh.
All right, watch me now, Mr. Ray. So somebody, let me say I take Cliff over there tomorrow, right? And I buy him a 2-piece, and him belly start to run. Yeah, just a run. Who does he hold accountable or responsible for that?
Who did he buy from?
He buy from you. Zoops. Right. Food ATM.
So must be more accountable.
So you are taking on that liability is what you're saying?
Of course.
And how do your
Hold on. If the fault is then, whatever happened, and the fault can be traced and it can be traced back.
Hold on now.
Then they are now liable to me. I am liable to the person who gets it from me.
But Mr. Ray,
I get the meal from KFC.
But Mr. Ray, isn't that a dangerous chain? How you going to know? How you going to trace that back?
Come on.
Tell me.
Are you being ridiculous?
No, I am not being ridiculous. You tell me.
That happens in Jamaica every day.
You're not answering the question though, Mr. Ray.
I blundered right here. It was a big blunder by me. Because what I should have said to this fellow is that if something goes wrong with food at any of these restaurants, it is very unlikely that I would be the only customer to be affected. Others would be affected too. And so we would know right away that whatever went wrong with the food went wrong at the restaurant.
How do you establish that liability?
What liability? I'm not understanding the question.
All right, I'll repeat it.
I'll repeat the question.
I'll repeat it. We buy from the machine, somebody gets ill, you said that you would take on the liability. And then you said if you could trace whatever it is back to the source, then they would be liable to you. And I'm saying, how do you do that tracing? How would you?
Then suppose it's something that was done at the restaurant, sir.
Then I'm saying, how do you establish that? How do you establish that?
There are ways and means, man, but that is besides the point.
No, I think that is entirely the point.
What? Hold on. We are guided by laws.
Because let me
You asked me a question and you must allow me to answer.
Go ahead, Mr.
We are ruled by laws. I said to you, the law allows, the Public Health Act allows for it. That is indisputable. Are you saying you are more an expert than the persons who consultations and drafting?
I don't think your attacks on me are helping you at all. Let me explain. If I walk into KFC and I walk out, there's no middleman. I know exactly where I got it from. I know exactly the chain of custody, all of that. And I'm asking you to tell my listeners how you would then establish that whatever happened at the restaurant and not during your delivery or transportation process. That's what I'm asking you.
All right, let me answer you like this. If you go to one of these persons who are selling tasty patties on the road,
I'd rather you not answer me with a question. I'd rather you not answer me with a question.
It's the same thing. It's a principle. It's the same principle. The persons go to Price Mart and buy the Price Mart cakes and sell them back in their establishments every day. If you go there and buy the Price Mart cake and your belly start run, what happens? What I'm saying is this is a normal course of business. There's nothing unique about what I'm doing. It's a normal course of business. It's trading. It's what people do every day all over the world. What is different? You tell me what is different. If you go to the pan chicken man on the roadside who is not even regulated, the pan chicken man on the roadside don't even have bathroom facilities. But we buy from them every day. And I'm saying that my equipment adheres to the law. The law allows for it. There are no risks involved. In fact, my meals are safer than the meals that you buy at KFC and Popeyes. Reason being that KFC and Popeyes have no equipment to preserve, maintain, or store cooked meals. I have that equipment to preserve, maintain, and store cooked meals for up to 6 months. So these questions that you're coming with, they're a little ingenious, if you ask me.
Why, thank you.
I blundered here again. That word, I don't know what to me, mix up. That word should have been disingenuous, meaning he was being a hypocrite. Him not really believe what him say, but him just say it for some kind of agenda. Instead I use a totally different word, ingenious. It's disingenuous. Me want to say this up.
Because this is what happens throughout Jamaica and the world. There's DoorDash, Uber Eats, all kind of things that come and deliver meals to people. The same thing, I'm operating as a delivery business. I have just found a vehicle that is able to deliver in volumes. That's all. And the police has no business running in for me. Popeyes has no business putting out these notices or KFC, and I'm going to file a lawsuit against them because they have damaged my business by saying that the meals are not, Popeyes said the meals are not prepared under their standards and their quality. When they prepare the meals, they are giving the impression that something might be wrong with my meals. You can't do that. That has damaged my business. Not only has it damaged my business, but our model is a business model. We're not going to operate standalone locations. And now what that has done now, it has created some amount of controversy so that businesses that we approach to partner with might not want to partner with us. because them are going to say, boy, you feel shady. That is what this has communicated to the public, you know, that we are shady, that we are doing something wrong, something illegitimate. And if KFC or Popeyes try to stop me from doing what I'm doing, they would be creating an offense. It would be an offense under the Fair Competition Act.
Have
They
any
would
one
try
of,
to stop me.
Mr. Ray, have any one of the different brands, as in KFC or Popeyes or whatever, formally written to you asking you to cease and desist?
No, they have not. And they have no legal grounds on which to do that. If they do that, they will be running afoul of the law. No entity in Jamaica can insist that it alone should trade in any commodity in Jamaica. That would be unlawful.
So what have they done? What have they done? They haven't written to you formally. What have they done?
What has happened is the notice that they posted and the police that visited me. Those are the two incidents.
Okay, they posted the notice where? In the papers or what?
Well, they posted the notices on some social media site, I understand. But then the papers run with it too. Them beat up the Observer and the Star too, because the Observer and the Star could be in problem with me right now too. That's the bottom line. I didn't do this thing willy-nilly off the top of my head in a place. I did meticulous research. Anything they come with, they have it covered. The first thing I consulted was the law. Lo and behold, the Food Handling Act from 1998 has it in there. Go and look at it yourself. It's right there. And so the law allow it. They're good.
I think the issue they are grappling with, and people are asking, what are you doing? These are well-known, prominent brands. What are you doing? What you're essentially doing, you've become a retailer, yes, of their brands. You go and you buy, what, 50 pounds of chicken or 52 pieces, and then you come back and you sell it. That's what you're doing, essentially.
Yes. All right, Cliff.
Yes.
Toyota Jamaica is the authorized dealer for Toyota in Jamaica. Can I go and buy some Toyota cars and sell it back without getting the permission of Toyota Jamaica? And if I do that on Toyota Jamaica should attempt to stop me, Toyota Jamaica would be committing an offense under the Fair Competition Act. Nobody has a monopoly on any commodity whatsoever. This is a free market economy. Persons are free to buy and sell any commodity. And in fact, that is what the Fair Competition Act encourages.
Why not? Okay, why not then go, you buy 100 pieces of KFC chicken and come back and sell the chicken without branding it KFC?
That would be unlawful.
That would be unlawful.
And then someone are running a problem though, because they are messing with them product though. You can't do that.
No. How would you be messing with the product? You buy 100.
Do that though?
100.
Let me hear what you're thinking.
Because people are very protective of their brand. Yes, I can see that.
Every product is branded.
Yes.
When you go into a supermarket, all
yes,
products
and people
branded.
spend a lot. Hold on, Milton.
Right.
Hold on, Milton. Hold on. Just talk. Let me talk.
Right.
People spend millions of dollars, yes, to build brands. It's an asset. Yeah, a very valuable asset. Okay? You agree?
I agree.
Good. So I'm saying,
so is every brand. Most brands.
Not all brands are as valuable as a KFC brand, right? But the point...
I don't think KFC is more valuable than Nike.
No. You know what I mean. I'm saying KFC...
Nike shoes and sell it back?
We're out of time. But the point I'm making, to avoid all of this cacophony, what is to stop you from buying 200 pieces of KFC every time and you go and you call that Zoops?
That would be fraudulent, Cliff. Come on. You know better than that, Cliff.
It would be? Is it any different from some of these big companies say, okay, Ricardo is going to do sausage and we're going to buy from Ricardo under these terms and conditions, and we put our label on it. And you see, you go in the supermarket and you buy different brands. But the same sausage.
You're smarter than this, Griffin. That is misrepresentation.
Oh, I see.
No, that is what would be criminal. That would be criminal.
I think what Mr. Reyes.
That would be like some people who bring some things from foreign where Avivas and put Adidas upon it or vice versa. No man, you can't do that. You can't mess with the people and things.
Finally,
what reason would I have to do that?
Finally, Mr. Ray, because you're out of time, would you accept that your entire business model is predicated and it rests on the strength of the brands KFC, Popeyes, Little Caesars? Would you accept that?
All the supermarkets, the clothing stores, etc. Most of their business models rest on the strength of the brands that they sell. What is different? What is unique?
And the law actually tells you how to handle the food to put it in the machine. The law tell you how to transport the food, where you fi do with the food, what temperature you fi keep the food at. And if the law says that you should do it and you can do it, argument not done. Nobody else now have no more argument. From the law provides for it. Nobody can argue with me. I will say this about all of that. You have to bear in mind that KFC is one of the biggest advertisers in Jamaica. The advertising budget for KFC is very big. And most media houses in Jamaica don't want to become enemies of advertisers with big budgets. So, in listening to this interview, you just bear that in mind. Remember that he who pays the piper calls the tune. Who no does remember that? Who no remember that? And so, media persons will bend themselves into pretzels. Nitpicking. They were just nitpicking, trying to poke holes into what I'm doing when there are no holes to be poked. No holes can be found because I cover myself properly. And so, Zoop's Food ATM will become a feature of the Jamaican life. We will have machines throughout the length and breadth of Jamaica. And then we're going to go into the Caribbean with them. And then we're going to go into Latin America. And then we're going to list on the junior market of the stock exchange. That's our aim. Those are our ambitions. That's why we need investors, because poor little me. Poor little me, me never have quarter the money required to do all of that. But I'm open to investors because this is a vision that could go far. This is a money make. It's not just a food machine. It's a money machine. The possibilities are endless. And it's because them see that. Why the whole heap of bad mind and the whole heap of fight down and the whole heap of this and that? How can you ask me a question about whether my entire business model is built on the strength of the brands? Look how much business model built on the strength of the brands where they must sell. People who sell Honda and Toyota. So, not the strength of the brand, but then they must sell the car them same way. Because people want Honda and Toyota, you go and buy Honda and Toyota and sell it. What is wrong with these people? Come on, the bad mind turn up so much only because they realize that this kind of thing are going to make a whole heap of money. And they don't want to make a whole heap of money. Not for people like us, black, ordinary people. And even when Alice did down a hero circle, had did the same place which Pasha cook the crab. And a crab alone they sell down there. Corn and soup and this, that. I'll never glad the Didi to get with me. Cause you know say crab. When you buy a crab, you get Didi too. The crab Didi. I was definitely glad the human Didi did mix with the crab Didi. I was definitely glad Alice Didi did mix with the crab Didi. But no police never check on her. No police never run in on her. No authority, no health authority never run in on her when she done there Didi. Right where she a cook. And she's back. After Didi up the place, Alice is back selling same way.
The return of vendor Alice Waugh to Crab Circle has triggered mixed reactions after she was reportedly banned from the popular food spot in 2023 over a public health breach.
But as Jamila Maitland now reports, the health department says she has fulfilled all the requirements for the issuance of a food handler's permit.
Alice Waugh is back at Crab Circle.
It's good, alright. Them greet me nice and good. And say, Alice, me glad to see you come back.
Waugh, who was at the center of a public health breach in October 2023 that triggered the closure of the popular food spot, was seen for the first time in almost 2 years. Her presence, however, triggered more questions from a concerned public. Chief Health Inspector Grayson Hutchinson.
She would have been trained. She applied for her food handler's permit, and she attended the training session, successfully completed the session. There was a medical interview done, and she was given a test. A test was administered, and she passed the test.
Waugh was fined $250,000 by a judge in June 2024. She was placed on a 2-year probation. However, the chief health inspector says the court did not ban her from practicing in the food trade. And so, Alice, who says she's now atoned, has returned to her spot.
How's she been going, Chicha? It's going good, Them fine, I'm going fine.
Going fine.
So all of them come back together and start by again. Come to come back, the place get lively. No car come now. I get car said we are. Let me say, the place dead. I was still at work with it, and from she come, we start car just a rolling. Look on the car, them are rolling. Nothing now, man.
But at least one vendor who didn't want to speak on camera says Alice's return was unexpected. After rebuilding her decades-old customer base, she fears business will be halted yet again. Ms. Waugh's return was seemingly unknown to the CEO of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Robert Hill, as well. The KCMC grants all vending permits. However, Mr. Hill could not say whether an application was submitted for Alice Waugh recently.
It is our intention to regularize the space permanently and ensure that all persons conducting the trade at that location are properly licensed by the KCMC, and so we'll be meeting with them.
Meanwhile, the health department says it will continue to monitor the area, still deemed low risk because of the type of food prepared.
Crab Circle, for the most part, and vending operations in general would be ranked at medium risk, in some cases low risk, depending on what is offered for sale, and also depending on how quickly it is that items are being offered for sale are consumed.
And I must say this, that Alice is the exception, because Jamaicans are not nasty people. One thing about we not coming like some people in some other country. Hey, in some country, they never beard it. They no beard. They no beard. 2-3 weeks got and they no beard it. Not Jamaicans. Not Jamaicans. We are not like that. We are normally very clean, very hygienic. You have some people, they wash them plate, he plate stay in the sink. So till all John just start grow up on the plate. But the people, the American people and the European people, the English people, they're nasty. Nasty bad. Not Jamaicans. Alice was not the norm. She was certainly not the norm, and she should not be back there selling people food. Under no circumstances should that woman ever again be allowed to sell people food. But I mean, you don't have strength for, eh? I mean, you don't have strength for, you don't think I idiot. You no buck up on a wall. You no buck up on a iron wall that you no can't go through. Me sorry for you. Sorry for you. And this excuse about food safety and food poisoning and, you know, there are simple steps. There are steps, very simple steps we can take to avoid any kind of risks.
While food poisoning can be an uncomfortable experience, the good news is that most cases are temporary and can be managed at home. Shemela Pullen explains in this week's Health Report.
Food poisoning happens when you eat contaminated food containing bacteria, viruses, parasites, or fungi. It is a common condition that affects millions of people worldwide yearly.
Food poisoning often results in nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain. Severe symptoms will include blood in the stool and fever in excess of 102 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 39 degrees centigrade. Circulatory collapse, meaning the person now becomes lethargic, unable to stand, may even get blurred vision.
The condition can lead to complications such as dehydration, organ failure, or even death. The elderly, children, pregnant women, and persons with a weakened immune system are more likely to get severe food poisoning.
You want to ensure rehydration, so you want to take fluids, and these fluids would be plant fluids, water, coconut water, diluted fruit juices. You can have some of the sports drinks, those are fine. As a rule, you want to avoid medication which stop the diarrhea, because very often that will convert something simple into something far more complex. If there is fever, you want to manage the fever and pay attention to the length of time that this is going.
And if the diarrhea continues for 3 days or more, persons need to seek medical attention. To prevent food poisoning, one must pay close attention to food storage and cooking practices.
So the first thing is really to ensure that whatever you're eating is properly cooked or properly stored. In the case of fresh vegetables, that they're adequately washed. There are some well-known culprits that will give you food poisoning: meats, poultry, shellfish, raw vegetables, again, if not adequately washed. So these are the things to look out for.
It is not really becoming concerned about food safety, when it comes to Zoop's Food ATM. It is not really that they're concerned about food safety. That's just a smokescreen. That's just an excuse. That's just trying to find something, some way, somehow to stop it. But me name 119. 119, I no idiot. Me know me I do. Me cover every ground. Every loophole is covered. So no coulda look till you no blue. All I bring about how the food will be transported. You know that is the same people who do deliveries in Jamaica, the courier companies. You know what them we are use for transport the food? The same people who transport food every day in Jamaica are the very same people we are using to transport the food to us. But all of a sudden, there is all this concern about transporting the food. What about those guys riding up and down on bikes with the backpack full of food to deliver to people? They have hand washing stations riding around with. Every time they make a delivery, they wash their hands at their hand washing stations that they carry around on the bike. No! Food safety concerns only apply When you see somebody come with something, wanna bad mind them for. Abe. You can't do nothing about it. Nothing whatsoever you can do about it. So you better lap on the tail. Lap on the little tail. You have a next guest coming. Next guest coming. 119.